Hello and welcome back to Coin Matters channel. Well, friends, I want to highlight some of the major things that are happening this week. The Bill Hinman emails from the SEC versus Ripple litigation are scheduled to be made public on Tuesday, June 13th. Those emails will undoubtedly shed light on Gary Gensler's duplicity and criminality at the SEC. And this might indicate that the legal settlement is near. Ripple and XRP are poised for a monumental week. In addition, Patrick McHenry will preside over a major crypto hearing on Tuesday, June 13th. The Consumer Price Index data will also be released to the public on Tuesday. The Fed's FOMC will convene on Wednesday, and the CPI will be released the same day. Initial claims for unemployment benefits on Thursday and consumer attitudes on Friday. Market leaders, Michael Van de Poppy, your user, said that this is the week that everything kicks off. Keep your wits about you. A lot of attention will be paid to the Fed's actions, inflation, rate hikes, and other macroeconomic factors this week, making it a pivotal one for cryptocurrency as well. It looks like a hectic week ahead. I'm crossing my fingers that we learn some interesting information about Ripple and XRP as a result of the Hinman emails and other developments. Even if inflation keeps falling and the Fed doesn't hike rates, that might be a major signal to the markets that they have halted and eventually are going to cut, which would be bad for the SEC but wonderful for the crypto business. We shall see what the future holds. I hope this week turns out well. I am Cuban. Yes, Us.Thanks billionaire and entrepreneur Mark Cuban. He gave his opinion on the SEC's crackdown on the cryptocurrency sector. Now, for those of you who don't know, Mark sued Mark Cuban for insider trading and other shady business practices and lost a lawsuit filed by the SEC in 2004 or so. The jury in Mark Cuban's trial took less than 5 hours to reach its verdict exonerating the billionaire from insider trading charges. He has so learned to successfully counteract the SEC strategies. And I've been exchanging emails with him. I'm hoping to have him comment on this in an upcoming podcast. He is a known supporter of crypto and blockchain technology. Technologies are visible to him. Of course, he became wealthy in the tech industry during the dot-com boom and continued his success into the Web 2 era. So he understands and has been advocating for more transparent and regulated crypto markets. What he said next is presented below. He pointed up the Securities Lending Transparency Fact Sheet published by the SEC. What he stated was the SEC has stated that the stock loan sector is opaque and has demanded that it become more open to the public. It's important to note that they are not attempting the same thing with stock loans as they are with crypto asset lending. Neither are they filing lawsuits against the stock loan divisions of brokers or banks. They are now in the feedback phase. The same should be done with cryptocurrencies in an effort to establish whether or not certain tokens or coins should be classified as securities. And the most effective means of controlling the market and shielding financiers. I believe the dissimilar methods used are representative of their intended use in various sectors. The SEC's assault on the cryptocurrency business has once again opened the eyes of many to how absurd this situation really is. They're utilizing regulation by enforcement instead of offering direction. We are aware, however, that TradFi incumbents have used the SEC as a weapon against crypto entrepreneurs in order to gain a foothold in the market. And so, they're throwing out all the brakes here, attacking the banking industry in its entirety by either labeling all financial instruments as securities or pursuing staking. Do you agree that they will pursue any and all forms of lending? Even Coinbase, which was approved and which followed all regulations to the letter when it launched its first public offering, is now facing legal action. We've finally arrived here. And you have a great deal of. Even the SEC is corrupt. Mark Cuban is now responding to John Deaton's comments. Mark Cuban then tweeted the following. He pointed out that the SEC's public statements on the Howey test and tokens often contradict the Commission's own public statements. You can learn more about what constitutes a security and what doesn't by reading this. The registration process does not include any of the information offered on this page, so it is impossible to tell. No amount of securities lawyers can definitively say whether or not something in the crypto world constitutes a security. He also included Senator Floyd Lummis and Brian Armstrong as targets. So, we know Senator Lummis is drafting legislation, and, well, she has put out a bill alongside Kirsten Gillibrand. Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong is also taking legal action against the SEC in an effort to clarify the situation. However, the SEC has made it extremely challenging for new businesses to register. Many lies are said by them. Of course, Gary will be all, "Oh yeah, it's a forum on our site," or something similar. It's simple so long as the SEC has personnel who are willing to say things like, "Yeah, it's not easy, right?" As a result, there is a great deal of confusion, but we all know this is the name of the game, right? The crypto sector is being shook down for cash amidst widespread confusion, uncertainty, deceit, and corruption. Playing a game of whack-a-mole with crypto firms, traveling from one to the next. It's awesome to have Mark's input here, and if you guys want him on the podcast, tweet at him and let him know. Actually, I'd be interested in giving an interview where we could discuss his triumph over the SEC. Now, in light of Tuesday's release of the Hinman emails, John Deaton has emphasized the following. He assured us that the emails wouldn't alter our methodology, so that's exactly what happened. On that day, we put an analysis to the test. Right. Yet he asserted. However, they will likely demonstrate the difficulty of extrapolating the precedents set in the 1930s and 1940s to the state-of-the-art technology of today. These communications will aid Coinbase and its ripple effect in the court of public opinion and, with any luck, motivate Congress to take bipartisan action. Here's the deal, as they say. As John points out, the day the details of the Hinman Wars and other such things are revealed won't bring about any drastic changes. But it will draw attention to the SEC's corruption and difficulties, and many lawmakers will realize, oh, the SEC is in poor optics right now. They're in a bad spot right now. Public opinion tribunals are harshly criticizing the SEC. And it's not just shoppers, but also lawyers and professionals in other fields. Right. You've had somebody like Mark Cuban, who isn't even a crypto guy per se, giving their 2 cents. More and more people will start showing up. Now this is good news. Again, it won't make a difference right away, but we should celebrate our victories when we can. Because politics is so much about appearances, we must emphasize the corruption. And Gary is eager to land a position in the Treasury. We must, then, disseminate information, news, and other such items as widely as possible. Guys, it will make things look much worse for Gary in the eyes of the media. And we ask that everyone who is listening get on Twitter and be prepared to communicate the facts. On Tuesday, Gary and the SEC will be unmasked there. Create content, share it, and tweet it. We must act now. Take note of how Gary Gensler's social media activity increases right before he takes any sort of enforcement action. He uses more conventional forms of media. Right. So it's safe to assume he's familiar with the rules. What I need you to do is get ready to tweet and amplify content as much as possible, and I'm sure that you'll do that. This is important for our success. One of the Winklevoss twins, Tyler Winklevoss, has pointed out an important detail here. He blamed Roe v. Wade, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and architect Gary Gensler for the GOP's loss in the midterms. The Democrats will lose the 2024 election because of Warren's crypto. In this case, I agree with Tyler. Clearly, crypto is not the primary concern. In fact, it isn't even the secondary concern. Is it a popular issue, though? In my opinion, it is the case. Is it in the top 10, or maybe top 8? Sure. People are starting to catch on to what's going on, in my opinion. Retail crypto investors are numerous. We've witnessed a steady increase in those figures over time. More than ever before are available. And when you consider how many people and services, like Robinhood and Fidelity, are now offering cryptocurrency, the net gets rather wide. People who were uncomfortable using services like Coinbase may have instead utilized Robinhood, PayPal, the Venmo app, and so on. Without going too political, I think Tyler is correct here. This do we have? Stance the Democrats' plan to field Brad Sherman, Gary Gensler, and Elizabeth Warren is doomed to failure. Yes, there are some crypto-friendly Democrats out there, but we need more of them. And we noticed that Elizabeth Warren has an anti-crypto army campaign slogan, so she and Brad Sherman are sadly drowning out the voices of Democrats who embrace crypto. Right. The time has come for us to do battle. Now, Cameron Winklevoss, the other twin, tweeted the following in response to Ryan Selke's statement that the SEC has failed to approve a Bitcoin ETF for a whole decade, with the twins' application for such an ETF having been submitted in 2013. Cameron estimated that the registration procedure would take at least 10 years. But the TradFi incumbents are in charge of the SEC, so we know they're obstructing it. As I've mentioned before, the SEC has no moral compass. They're corrupt from the inside out. In recent days, Charles Hoskinson has been very active on Twitter. To the XRP community, he obviously expressed regret, pleading for calm and forgiveness. We also know that Cardano, through its ADA coin, was dragged into the legal battle between Binance US and Coinbase. Charles has revealed some interesting details regarding how Cardano was funded, demonstrating once again that the SEC is unconcerned with verifiable information. Charles stated that the funding came from Japanese sources. ADA was not purchased. Those must be the ADA vouchers for tokens only. All promotional materials and prices were in Japanese yen and Bitcoin. No Americans took part in this. ADA was released as an airdrop in 2017. This was 2 years after the initial voucher sale. The SEC may find these facts inconvenient, but they are nonetheless true. The SEC did not file a suit against Cardano itself to challenge the legitimacy of the ADA token. Cardano/ADA, Solana/Matic, and others were just thrown into a lawsuit. Also, I've been saying that approach is deceptive and slimy because you're not giving each token the fair treatment it deserves. But as Judge Sarah Netburn has remarked before, the SEC has no loyalty to the law. Will Clement was a fantastic Bitcoin analyst, and I've been a fan of his work for quite some time. He brought up the effects of Operation Choke 2.0, which targets the crypto industry's financial system. He pointed out that the ratio of decentralized to centralized exchange volumes is at a record high. When compared to Us.Thanks, a stablecoin and firm based in the United States, Tether is at an all-time high. He mentioned the record-breaking 86% of offshore volumes. He predicted that in the long run, business and investment will shift overseas and up the supply chain, leaving the United States government with less control. He has a valid point. And this, friends, is a classic case of going global. Andreessen Horowitz/A16Z partner Chris Dixon. If you think back to the days of Netscape and the dot-com boom, you will remember Mark Andreessen and Ben Horowitz at Andreessen Horowitz, constructing Netscape, and so on. They then established a venture capital firm and began investing in technology. When it came to Web 2.0, they excelled. They've arrived just in time to start working on and funding Web 3.0. Okay, so this is what they choose to emphasize. I have some really important news to report. Expanding to the United Kingdom, A16Z. Later this year, we will launch our first overseas office in London, where in 2024 we will hold the second iteration of our cryptocurrency startup school. And then he went on to explain why the UK still needs clear laws to enable an open road for businesses to build constructive solutions, safeguard consumers, and put an end to the toxic casino culture that has formed around cryptocurrencies. Says he. The United Kingdom is heading in the right direction when it comes to crypto legislation, as evidenced by the fact that it has begun to collaborate with the sector on the special features of blockchain technology. Putting consumer safety first, using an outcome-based sandbox approach to regulation. That's why the EU and the UK are both enacting such transparent rules. It is well knowledge that the European Union has enacted the MiCA law, and as we highlighted yesterday, the people of Hong Kong have extended an open invitation to Coinbase and other cryptocurrency companies. Launch your company here, by all means. We will help you become publicly traded on stock markets and similar venues. Chris, therefore, claims that the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and other top policymakers in both countries. We believe in the potential of Web3 and are dedicated to establishing appropriate laws and safeguards to protect consumers, encourage innovation, and promote the growth of companies in this space. We're thrilled to provide our support to their initiative. He showed off himself with the British Prime Minister in an online photo. I'm at a loss for words, really, here, people. As an American, I can attest that it's depressing to see these things. It's not that there's anything inherently wrong with a company going internationally, but we do know that many are hastening to leave the United States because of the pressure and the many obstacles they face there. Here's what Rishi Sunak, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, had to say about Andreessen Horowitz's decision to set up shop in the United Kingdom. In order to further establish the United Kingdom as a global leader in science and technology, it is crucial that the country adopts cutting-edge innovations like Web3 powered by blockchain technology, which will encourage the growth of the startup community and the economy. Having appropriate safeguards and rules in place to protect consumers and encourage innovation is crucial to that achievement. There's still a lot of work to be done, but I'm committed to bringing this technology to fruition and making the UK the hub for Web3. For this reason, I can hardly contain my excitement. The decision of major global investor Andreessen Horowitz to locate its first foreign office in the United Kingdom is a reflection of the country's excellent educational system, pool of top-tier talent, and robust commercial scene. A blockchain-based marketplace for computing power called Jensen has just raised $43 million from investors including Andreessen Horowitz. Capital is being raised around the world and crypto startups are able to obtain access to cash, so while it is not flowing as much as it once did in the United States due to recent headwinds from authorities, people are still enthusiastic on this. So, Jensen, based in London, has announced a $43 million series of fund round. Jensen is a blockchain-based marketplace protocol that links buyers and sellers of computing power. CoinFund, Canonical Crypto Protocol Labs, Eden Block, and a number of angel investors joined a 16Z Crypto as the round's primary backers. There was no mention of a price. As was noted in a press release, the massive Series A raise comes against the backdrop of an AI boom spurred by the success of ChatGPT and the resulting surge in demand for GPUs, the compute engines that allow such systems to ingest information. Jensen is a marketplace protocol built on the blockchain that lets programmers create AI systems with the help of linked hardware while consuming on-demand content. Users may rest assured that the machine learning tasks they've outsourced via the protocol have been properly completed thanks to built-in cryptographic verification. To reiterate, crypto is still very much alive. No one can stop crypto now that it's here to stay. Tell me about the current situation in the USA. I've said it before and I'll say it again, TradFi incumbents have armed a corrupt and rotten SEC to wipe out US crypto startups before they can take over and lead the market. This is the future of technology. It's not new to any of you. The CEO of BlackRock discusses tokenization. JP Morgan has developed their own stable coin, as we all know. They contribute to the formation of a quorum. They put their money into agreement. Big financial institutions and TradFi incumbents have begun setting up infrastructure, including submitting patents and the like. Fidelity, BlackRock, and others have already launched services, and Nasdaq is planning to introduce cryptocurrency custody in the near future. BNY Mellon introduced cryptocurrency custody last year. In addition, Visa and MasterCard and all these other crypto firms have been building and investing. That's why things are going to hurt so much here. I hope that makes sense. This is going to hurt a lot. However, I am crossing my fingers that international investment continues to pour in and market cycles continue to unfold. Bitcoin's recent decline has put us in a holding pattern. I believe it will, but there is a distinct possibility that it will not due to these headwinds, which are hitting the charts at just the right time and producing sell pressure, which breaks the bullish momentum. That means we don't know anything yet. However, I do dollar cost averaging on a personal level. This is not financial advice. Sorry for the delay. Despite the foolishness we're going through in the United States, I have a long-term optimism because what I see happening throughout the world is incredibly bullish. Okay, fellas, give me some feedback. Say what you're thinking below in the comments. If you agree, press the thumbs up. Please subscribe my channel. See you in the next video. Bye.